Right, and I completely agree with you. Transparency is the best way to do it. I mean, everything we do is recorded, so, you know, for things like this. So like I said, I can't answer on behalf of the chief because I'm not him.
If someone were to put in a public information request for that footage, I'm assuming people have. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that would be released from that point on, or do you think it would be denied?
No, it should. It's a closed case. I don't see why it wouldn't be available if someone wanted it.
Okay. Great. No, I just,
like I said,
you know.
I mean, the whole, whether I agree with, you know, how, you know, it's being talked about or not, you know, is an opinion for someone who's not at work. You know, my opinion may or may not differ.
Right.
Personally, but yeah, it's, you know, I agree with you.
Okay. No, I just, you know what I mean? It just seems like a bit of an obvious point. That's all, you know, that, so.
No, I completely agree with you. But I can tell you that the officers that were involved, there was no civil rights violations or anything like that. There was no.
Was there any disciplinary, like, hey, you guys might want to, like, you know, learn some de-escalation, you know, that kind of a thing?
Yeah, that I don't know. I don't have access to their disciplinary files.
Sure.
Department, this is Haley.
Yes, I was trying to obtain some information about an arrest that happened a couple of years ago.
Okay, do you have a call for service number that it's in reference to?
No, I wish I did. Actually, that's one of the first things I was trying to find out.
Okay. Do you know what day it happened or where it was to kind of give me an idea of?
No, but I do know that within the past several days, the chief wrote a letter to the public regarding this particular.
Okay.
It's on the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
The case number isn't listed on the letter to the public, but the letter definitely is regarding this particular arrest, which has been on social media, and it happened a couple of years ago. Yeah, it happened with like a young man. I'm sure he's still young now.
Right.
He was even younger then, and he was like.
No, I'm familiar with the video.
Oh, okay.
I personally cannot release anything. You can call back Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and speak with records.
Okay, so you have a records department?
Yes.
Okay. How many police officers and civilians work for this police department?
Off the top of my head, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
I mean, is it like 100 police officers or 500?
No, it's not that big.
Oh, like 25 to 50?
Yeah, around there.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, I just had a couple other questions. Are you a police officer?
No, I am a dispatcher.
Oh, okay. What's your identifying number?
4193.
4193. Okay, and now for the records department, is there any particular number maybe you could suggest or an extension or?
It'd just be this number, and then they'd be able to transfer you. Make sure that she's there actually in the office.
Okay. How many people work in the records department?
There's 2.
Okay. And what are their names?
We have Kim Gann, and then we just hired a new one, and hold on one second. And I believe her last name's Perryman.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
And what are the hours of the records department? Just the same as the business hours for the police department?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for all the information, and I'll call back tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Recording. At this point, the cops could just leave a citation on the vehicle, but that's not what this is actually about. This is about ego. This is about proving who's boss. This is about dehumanizing the badge. What you're about to see right here is the reason that cops have to put out so much propaganda trying to convince the public that they're human too. Because in their daily interactions with the public, they sure as hell don't seem like it.
Police! Okay, just give us station information and Tadale.
Too late.
What does that mean too late? What did he do?
He didn't fail to identify and he fled.
I don't have to.
You'll notice here that there are 3 police officers parked in the fire lane with no emergency and no emergency lights on. But besides that, fire lanes aren't for police. They're for fire trucks. Unlike this young man, the police are actually fully blocking the fire lane, and they have the ability to move their cars. Therefore, they broke the law by choice, whereas this young man just happened to run out of gas.
This boy, something happened to him. I go anywhere.
We tried to get your...
I go anywhere. I asked. Okay, I'm going to give you his information now.
It's too late. We tried to get that from you earlier and you wouldn't give it
Because
to
he's not under 18.
Well, then you made a bad choice.
What does that mean?
That means you should have given us his
What did he do?
earlier.
What? Tell me, what is this mean?
He's parked in the fire lane.
He's trying his best to bring here. See, it was a long way. Stop. So he couldn't move it. I came to push for him.
Yeah.
And then get the gas for him.
Yeah.
So you arrest him. What is this wrong with it?
Because he parked in the fire lane. We were trying to get his ID.
He just telling you he didn't do anything. He just trying to get gas to move his car.
He left it in the fire lane.
He's out of gas. His car he couldn't move it by himself. Okay, I came to help him. Early in the morning.
You know what you could have done to help him? You could have given us his information, what we asked for.
I just gave him. I gave him his birthday.
And the birthday doesn't do anything. Do any good without his name.
Okay, I'm trying to give him this.
Too late.
We are talking.
Too late. He fled from us, and now he goes to jail for evading.
What, Zamis? I'll give you his information. Okay.
Too late. He'll be going to Wiley jail.
I know that. You are touching him. He didn't do anything. He's parked.
He's searching him for weapons.
He's almost parked. He's out of
When
gas.
he walks away from us when we're telling him to stop, if you would have just given us his name and date of birth, this would have been
He just
over.
asking you, what did I do? What did I do?
We've told him several times.
He gave you the reason.
And we've told you. Because here's what would have happened. If you would have given us his information, or if he would have given us this information when we asked for it, we would have issued a citation for parking in a fire lane. You could have taken that to the judge, told the judge the reason why he was parking in a fire lane. The judge probably would have taken that into...
All right, the video ends there. I'm going to link the original video from James Freeman, aka my baby daddy's YouTube page, in the description. Go over there if you haven't already. And now it's time for some phone calls. What do you think? This is Johnny.
Hey, Johnny, this is Sergeant Sarles from Murphy Police Department. How are you?
Good. Sergeant who? Sauls?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hi. I was calling about the video that the chief just put out the letter on regarding the guy that supposedly ran out of gas that got arrested. And yeah, it just seems kind of weird, kind of wacky, kind of kooky, maybe a little nutty to say, hey, you guys didn't see the whole version of it. I mean, we have video of it, but I mean, it is 2.5. I mean, it's 2.5 years old, and I mean, maybe you could, I don't know if you guys are going to wait another 2.5 years to release the footage, or it just seems that if the footage is so, exonerating of your officers, that you guys would have released it at least this week, if not sooner. So I was just curious of what the thought process was there, or lack thereof.
Well, I cannot personally tell you the chief's thought process because I have no idea.
Okay.
I
mean,
personally
you see
don't
the
know.
you see the perception though, right? That like, hey, you guys didn't see the whole thing. We have video of the whole thing, but we're not about to release it. So.
Oh no, I completely agree with you. I don't know why it's not being released. I mean, there's nothing in it that would be, a violation of anybody's rights or anything like that. I don't know why that they're choosing not to release it. Like I said, I can't speak for the chief on that. I personally don't see an issue with releasing the body camera footage. I think it would have been necessary, but
Hey, you know, okay. I was just curious. I was just trying to wrap my head around why the body worn camera footage. Do you know what happened with that case? Was that case were charges pursued? Were they dismissed? Do you recall?
I know the charges were pursued. They were sent to the DA's office. And I do not know the actual outcome of that individual's court cases or court documents.
Yeah, because I tried to look it up. I didn't really see any. I just did a cursory search, though. So I mean, okay. No, I was just curious if there was. Go ahead.
So I see he had a couple cases open in Collin County. Let me see. See if I can help you out a little bit. It looks like in September of 21, the DA's office, it just says the case was disposed.
Okay.
So I don't know what the DA's office did. I don't have access to their stuff.
Is that like the same as dismissed? I mean, I don't know what kind of legal jargon you guys use there in Texas. So it was.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that shows that there was like a conviction or anything. So I'm assuming it was dismissed.
Okay. Yeah,
From what I can see.
it just videos like this are always popping up, and if I were a good cop, I would be so perturbed that these kind of videos that, I mean, and it wasn't just one cop that escalated that situation. It was all of the cops. So it just seems that, you know, I don't know if you guys like to try out new jiu-jitsu moves that you learned Thursday night, you know what I mean? Like, it just seems like an absolute always escalating kind of thing. And just the whole world is watching. And if I were a good cop, I would probably resign immediately for starters. I just, because you just get, you know, one gets painted, regardless of whether you're a good cop or bad cop or not, you just get painted as that there were 5 bad cops that allowed a questionable, I'll be generous, a questionable arrest on something that could have, I mean, you could have run the guy's plate. I mean, it's not, it just seemed a bit egregious, and I would not want somewhere that I was working coming under such scrutiny that could have easily been avoided. So, but yeah, I mean, if
I agree.
if
It could have been, the situation could have been de-escalated better. I want to argue that point.
Sure.
But I do know that the plate itself did not come back to the alleged owner, which is why there was a confusion on who the owner was, and he was claiming it was his car, but he was not the registered owner of the vehicle.
Okay.
So,
well, I mean, that would be something if I were on the police, I would, you know, the letter that the chief put out on your Facebook page was like, oh, you guys didn't see you guys don't know the whole story. You know, and you're telling me far more information. I mean, the point being is, why on earth would you come out with this letter saying, well, you guys don't know the whole story? I mean, we're not going to tell you or even give you a hint of the whole story, but you guys don't know the whole story. It in this day and age of everything being recorded, it just seems suspect to not be releasing the body worn, at least one officer's version of the body worn camera of the incident. So,
right, and I completely agree with you. Transparency is the best way to do it. I mean, everything we do is recorded, so, you know, for things like this. So like I said, I can't answer on behalf of the chief because I'm not him.
If someone were to put in a public information request for that footage, I'm assuming people have. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that would be released from that point on, or do you think it would be denied?
No, it should. It's a closed case. I don't see why it wouldn't be available if someone wanted it.
Okay. Great. No, I just,
like I said,
you know,
I mean, the whole, whether I agree with, you know, how you know, if it's being talked about or not, you know, is an opinion for someone who's not at work. You know, my opinion may or may not differ.
Right.
Personally, but yeah, it's, you know, I agree with you.
Okay. No, I just, you know what I mean? It just seems like a bit of an obvious point. That's all, you know, that, so.
No, I completely agree with you. But I can tell you that the officers that were involved, there was no civil rights violations or anything like that. There was no.
Was there any disciplinary, like, hey, you guys might want to, like, you know, learn some de-escalation, you know, that kind of a thing?
Yeah, that I don't know. I don't have access to their disciplinary files.
Sure.
That's for the chief and the IA department.
Right.
But I know that typically with other things in our department, if it looks like somebody requires more training, the department is more than willing to send them to said training so that it doesn't happen again. I do know that we do that a lot.
Yeah, it just seems like it's just a liability issue at that point, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's
Yeah. So the department is good about seeing where things are lacking and sending people to those trainings.
okay.
So you know, that is one thing that I am proud of this department for, is if they do see a deficiency, they try to fix it. But
Are all those cops still on the force there?
I believe yes.
Okay. Well, just curious.
Yeah. No. So.
Great.
That was under an old chief. The video itself was from a different chief. Then we had a new chief since then, and then we are now in the process of getting another chief. So.
All right. Spirit of rotation.
Yeah. So the officers remain in place, and the chiefs seem to rotate. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't look great, but you know, there's got to be a bunch of behind the scenes stuff going on there that no one's going to be privy to. So.
Probably, and I know there's stuff that I'm not privy to. So.
Sure. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, I appreciate your time, and tell me again the spelling of your last name.
Sarles, S-A-R-L-E-S.
S-A-R-L-E-S, Sarles. Okay. Great. All right. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Is there anything else I can do for you, John?
That's it.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks, man. So there you have it. That cop was respectful to me. I was respectful to him in return. I doubt we'll ever get to the crux of the problem here, shockingly enough. So, as I mentioned earlier, go head on over to James Freeman's page. Just spam his page. Oh, talking about alimony and it's time to pay up, and you can run but you can't hide. Oh, make me proud. He's a good sport. He and I are dear friends, and he'll love it. Thanks. We'll see you in the next video. Subscribe if you like the content.